Hey you guys, hello and welcome. I hope you guys are all doing really well. I was just looking at my analytics and I realized that I've been on YouTube for a whole year. So thank you for any support. I really appreciate it. Really means a lot to me, and I hope that this next year on YouTube's gonna be even better. I have really big plans for this channel. I want to do a lot more on edible food and vegetables, so we'll see where that goes. I didn't really have a video planned for today. I literally just got back home from work, and I just wanted to give you guys a very short little tour of just my little background garden, because it's beautiful and it's just a really wonderful spring day here, you know, and I'm in good spirits right now, so I just really wanted to show you guys. So, where should I start? I guess I'm gonna start here. I'm not used to this camera, so I'm gonna see if I can reverse. There, I think you guys can see that. So I just got some rhododendrons. This one here is Nova Zembla. I highly recommend this one if you're into like the sort of fuchsia pink color palette. This one over here is Percy Wiseman. This is more if you're into like the creamy whites. It does have a little bit of pink in the middle. I've noticed this one here, the Percy Wiseman, is a little bit more hardy than that one over there. And yeah. So this over here is Wemlaria. This here is the Asian plum. That's pretty interesting. Just starting to get some blooms. I actually got this one from a friend of mine, just locally. His name's Mick. Mick, if you're watching this, thank you. This here is my Japanese holly fern. It's grown so much, you guys. It's one thing I've definitely noticed about this plant is it takes a while until it starts regrowing for the summer. But it has these beautiful fronds that it's left over from last year. I have a couple ginkgos. This is Ginkgo Biloba. I have some flowering quince, Chianomiles speciosa. All in this whole area. I have a little white bridal lilac. The whole theme of this area is sort of more pastels and bright colors. This is really pretty. This is Lithadora. Has this really unique sort of star-shaped bloom to it. It's kind of like a nice blue off purple mauve color. Here are just some alliums. I have a little bit of Nectaroscortum in here. What else do I have? I have some Darwiniana tulips. They're just coming by. I don't know if you guys can see that. I just cleaned the interior of this little, I'm getting interrupted by a crow. This little greenhouse. It has a lot of algae on it, so I'm contemplating getting rid of this and just getting a replacement for it. I've had this for about 2 years, and honestly, if you guys are at like Home Depot or something and want to get like a portable greenhouse, I really don't recommend these ones unless you're in a very protected area, because they do get that algae really quickly and the plastic's just really bad quality. And I don't like to really crap on other people's manufactured goods, but like, I don't know if you guys can see, I've already had to repatch this a couple times, and this is literally only its second year. So this was just a little impromptu sort of primula moment that I was going for. Just got the colors of the rainbow. I'm growing some mint in here. It's just starting to come back, chocolate mint. My Aunt Shirley got me this. Thank you, Auntie Shirley. This here is Douglas fir. Pseudotsuga menziesii, sorry. He's growing well. Gonna get some new growth pretty soon, I think. It's a little bit over 5.5 feet tall. These over here are just some of my primulas. They did really well. Just look at how many blooms there are in there, you guys. That's absolutely insane. This one here is one of the more perennial varieties. Don't know if that's gonna focus. Double blooming one. I have to do a little bit of pinching back on these guys. So just getting the spent blooms, finding the origin, where they originate at the base, and then just pinching back. It really just promotes new blooms, new growth. Where should I go next? I'm in the middle of cleaning, you guys, so bear with me. There's going to be all sorts of pots and everything around here. This here is just some Hemerocalis. This is just a daylily. I can't remember the variety. It's really nice. It almost has like an off blue purple center, and then it has like kind of a bronzy copper exterior. Just really pretty. I got some, I don't know if you guys can see in here, just a little bit of lemon balm. This here is Corydalis. I think I made a video on that. This is the white one. Got some hostas that are supposed to come up soon. This is really pretty. This is Fatsia Japonica. This is Salix decidua, oh man, what do you call that? It's a vestigiate willow. It's just coming back up for the spring. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know how well I'm filming this. My camera lens is kind of weird. But yeah, this here's really, really pretty. This is the Fatsia Japonica. I'm going to make a video on this one pretty soon, I think. Most beautiful variegation I think I've ever seen on a leaf. This one's called Spider's Web. It's a little bit prone to some browning, but I think it's just normal when you have a lot of variegation. This over here is another variety of Hemera callus. Really not sure which one this is. It's never bloomed for me. It came from a division. So we'll see how that goes. I got some hostas that are going to come back. Hopefully. Some Hydrangea Macrophylla. This one's blue. It's kind of all over here. I just never prune it because I like that sort of natural aesthetic. These here are some raspberry of some sort. I think it's a Russian early season raspberry. Really, really beautiful. They're just coming back from the dormant season. Big, huge recommendation for these guys is I've noticed they like really alkaline soil. Which really surprised me because with berries normally you want to give them as much acidity as you can, but I've been doing really well in a pretty loamy alkaline soil. I really hope that focuses. Almost reminds me of a rose the way it comes in. This is really nice. This here is just this is some sort of a native Pacific Northwest wild buttercup. It's just starting to bloom. The blooms almost remind me of like Anemone blanda. I think that it's in the Ranunculaceae family, but I'm not too sure. I've been having some issues with this one. If you guys know what's going on, I would really appreciate it. This is just a black lace elderberry. It's trying to come back, but it's getting eaten by something. I figure it's probably slugs. Not sure. This is just some armeria. More armeria. Look at all that growth. Had that going for a couple of years. Nice daffodils coming in. I got some spring bulbs. That's just kind of a sad looking spruce, but he's gonna do better hopefully. I got some double tulips coming in too. Not sure if you guys can see that. This is pretty interesting. I started this. This is a Pacific red cedar. Western red cedar, pardon me. I started that one from a tiny little seedling that was probably about an inch tall. Now it's approaching 4.5 feet tall, which is pretty cool. My sword ferns are just starting to come back for the spring. They got a lot of frost damage on them. We had a pretty rough winter actually. Look at this, isn't this beautiful? This is just another narcissus. Daffodil. I got some fuchsias and stuff coming in. Look at this is cool. These are just the filaments of some moss. I was supposed to have another one of these armerias growing here, but it died back unfortunately. That's like the third plane to come over. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Always interrupted by planes. Does anyone know what type of plane that is? I hope they have safe travels. Probably not the most ideal time to travel, but you know, I hope they have a good time. Just gonna wait for that to pass over. Really loud one. This here is the red Ozir Dogwood. I've been growing this one for a few years. Has this really nice opposite arrangement to it. It has this really kind of bronzy, once again kind of copper, really just smooth bark to it. I'd really like to see how that looks when it gets bigger. We have this store here in Canada called Superstore, and sometimes you can get good bargains and stuff. I got this bridal double blooming lilac syringa vulgaris from there a couple years ago for $5, and it's already over 7 feet tall. I got some phlox and stuff, so just ignore this. This is a total mess right now. These are some blueberries, or sorry, bluebells that have just sort of naturalized in the last while. I made this sort of makeshift trellis. Jeez, I'm saying a lot. Sorry, guys. This here is a Chardonnay grape, I believe. Sorry, no, this is Concord. And it's just coming back. Just got this little start and sort of divided it into two, and now it's just sort of taking this over. I'll have to make a video on that when it matures. Yeah, so I just have the whole side here. I'm really quite happy with how things are going along. This here I got from the Bartlett Tree Services on Family Day. I was about 7 years old when I got this, and he's just growing like crazy. I love how bonsai-esque it looks. And it's thick too, like very thick. So that's approaching, that's well over a decade old already, which is insane. This is the Tulip Tree. Very beautiful, Rhododendron. I got a deodar cedar back there. I got a laurel. Whole bunch of hollies. Just some big trees. Huge ponderosa tree right up there. This over here is a Duke blueberry. He's doing really well. I never prune this one back or anything, but I see a lot of flower buds coming in. Got some collards. This here is just my selection of kale. I just didn't really do much with it. And then basically I let it overwinter here, and now it's blooming for me. And I've heard that the blooms are really good in salads. They're very high in vitamin C. So I figured, why not give it a try? So I basically let them bolt. This is probably going to be a really long video. Sorry about that, guys. These are my sedums. My sedums are finally coming back. Beautiful harbinger for spring. I got this other rose. This here is just a climbing rose. I can't remember the variety off the top of my head, but I got this from my neighbors because they didn't want it, and I was like, yo, I want to rescue this rose, right? So it's been growing here for a couple years. Has this huge base. Realistically, I should repot it, but I just don't have a pot for it, but it's doing well. What's this? These are just hens and chicks. They're doing pretty well for me. They're pretty low maintenance. They don't really, I mean, you don't even really have to look at them, and then they grow. I got some blooms off of them last season, which was nice. Got some Dianthus. This here really took a beating over the winter season. I sort of neglected it, and you know what? It's finally coming back. It actually completely died back. Where should I go now? Right over here. So these are just some collard greens that I decided to overwinter. I really like them in salads too. They have a bit more of like a peppery sort of taste to them. Yeah, some cabbage. Now this over here, I was really proud of this. This was my, it was such a beautiful rosemary, sorry, not rosemary, lavender bush. English lavender, and then I decided to cut it back, and you know what? It's finally starting to show new signs of life again, but I feel like I killed the majority of it, so. Yeah, early fall when it starts getting really wet outside, learn from my mistake and do not prune back your lavender. It will hate you for it. So yeah. I got some forsythia, just all sorts of random miscellaneous stuff there. More sword fern. Here I got some heucheras, I got some heucherellas. I got lots of alliums, so many alliums. I got some double jonquils. The jonquil's a really nice relative of the narcissus, or sorry, the daffodil, and it's doing well. I got some raspberries that are starting to naturalize here. I have a little bit of, oh man, what's that stuff called? It's Jacob's Ladder that's going to come up here later on in the season. I got some bearded iris. I don't know if you guys can see these heucheras. They're a little overwintered, but they're coming back. They have these full rosettes. I have pretty high hopes for those guys. I went to a farmer's market a couple years back and got this creeping crane's bill or geranium. But this over here is the perennial geranium, and this here is where the plant started. I got it for $2 actually, just a toonie. And it's all over here, and it just blooms the most beautiful shade of purple in the spring. All these alliums are overwintered, by the way. I've had them for a while. I'm getting out of breath. This over here, I don't know if it's gonna show because it's very bright, but half of my poor arbor vitae cedar just kind of died back, but it's starting to grow from the bottom, which makes me kind of hopeful. I gotta fix that. that was not supposed to be that way. There's another airplane going by. A lot of people traveling. This over here is Josta Berry. Really, really happy with how this turned out. It's a cross between currant and gooseberry. Yeah. Has a really interesting taste profile to it. Pick them when they're just about to fall off the plant. When you think that they're a little overripe, give them a couple more days, almost to the point where you think that they're gonna like rot off, and that's when they taste the best. Really good in tarts. This here is a Cox Orange Plum. Started this guy from a seed 3.5 years ago. It's already well over 8 feet tall. Just starting to get my first blooms. I got some more Douglas fir down there. Let's go over here. Yeah, so this over here is just Saskatoon Berry. I have a few bushes back here. This is honeyberry. This is in the Lonicera genus. So this is related to the honeysuckle, and it just has this really nice berry. It's quite like a Saskatoon berry. It almost tastes like honey. I think it's actually a really accurate name. It doesn't have any prickles or thorns on it. If you're gonna harvest the berries, around the mid of the month of May is kind of when they're ready. They're a little hard to find because they usually sit directly below the leaves. This plant is prone to a lot of dieback, but you can just prune it back and it regenerates really nicely. It has these very velvety new leaves. Kind of blueberry-esque, really. What else should I show you? So here I have Maricole Phoque. This is a French grape. One thing I will say is it's smaller fruiting than I anticipated, so if you like a bigger, more parthenocarpic seedless grape, I do not recommend this variety for you guys at all. I think you'll hate it. But if you like making your own wine, it's really, really good for wine. I have to prune it back. What else? So this here is a Mount St. Helens azalea, broadleaf azalea. Highly recommend that for specimen plants if you're going to grow them in big containers. Beautiful fiery orange to red to peach to pink blooms. They come in clusters of up to 20. Just really beautiful hardy plant. Doesn't need pruning or anything really. This here is a really vibrant neon Hemera callus daylily. I think it's called Neon Sparks, but I'm not quite sure. This has grown really, really well for me. This over here is the Dawn Redwood. I don't know if you guys can see. It's a deciduous conifer, which is cool. Not very common. I hope this focuses. But it's just coming back for the spring. And would you look at that exfoliating bark? It reminds me of California. Super beautiful. I have another one back there. I have a bunch of sage back there. This here is sort of my fern of all ferns. I started off with this fern. It's another Polysticum unidum fern. I got this really nice Montana clematis. It's just coming back. My old bunny Harvey kind of tore it to bits, and now it's finally growing back after 2 years of being near dormant. I got some garlic and stuff. I'm gonna plant some indeterminate tomatoes and cherry tomatoes there, I think. I got a whole lot of chive action going on, some periwinkles. This is so beautiful. They just naturalize around here. Ooh, I have primula. I got some chamomile down in this corner. This here's an apple tree start. It's Granny Smith. I got that from my grandpa's apple tree. This over here is just some flag iris. Siberian flag iris. This one's here is almost like a blue color. Thank you to my Aunt Gudrun for getting me that. I really appreciate it. It's almost quintupled in size. These are Goji Berries, superfood. Highly recommend you guys grow your Goji Berries. I've noticed that they like a lot of space. Definitely more space than I've given them. So I'm gonna transplant them and put them in a larger part of the garden. Some more Corydalis and geraniums and such. And yeah, really, really proud of this part of the garden. But first I just really wanted to show you, here are more of those roses in my last video. I don't know if that's gonna focus. Don't know why my camera hates me today. This here is an Alberta Spruce that I've been trying to grow as a bonsai. I think it's working pretty well. back up so you guys can see that. And then this one over here is just Juniper squamata. So here's just a juniper bonsai. Really love it in the yellow accent pot. I've been growing this guy as a bonsai about 8 years. Oh, that's my face. Sorry, I accidentally clicked a button. Hold up. Yeah, so this over here is just the juniper. And I really wanted to show you guys this area. This is kind of my bulb corner. Lots of narcissus coming up, so much. I have some fritillarias, I have some jonquils, lots of tulips. This over here is an Asiatic lily. I got some muscellari, all sorts of different kinds of daffodils. It smells so good here, you guys. And nothing seems to choke itself out, which is really nice. They seem to be growing in relative harmony with one another. This is a really beautiful tulip. This is Kaufmanniana. Or no, not botanical. Yeah, this is Kaufmanniana. It's more of a perennializing tulip. So look at this double one. This is called Miss Butterworth, I believe. Look, you can even see the yellow reflecting on my hand. It's just beautiful. I got so many hyacinths, you guys. It's my favorite flower. Anyone ever wants to make me happy, just get me a hyacinth. Yeah, they're incredibly durable. They rebloom for me. I haven't planted any new hyacinths in this bed for about 6 years. And I'm not that old, so I don't know if you guys can tell. I've been gardening for a lot of my life. But yeah. So that's just doing really, really well. Love my spring bulbs. And yeah, I'm just going to pan over to this here. This is just incredible, isn't it? Yeah, these are the primulas that I was complaining about earlier. They really proved me wrong, and they've been quite prolific. So that's just kind of where the backyard garden is at right now. I'm going to have a lot more coming in here. I got a lot of transplant stuff that's going to be coming in from the front into the backyard, and a lot more tropical plants. And just look at this. This here is just so beautiful. Fatsia Japonica spiderweb. Yeah, so if you guys actually watched that whole video, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I hope it was calming to you guys. This is my longest video on my channel yet, so sorry about that. But I mean, I guess I had to do something special for 1 year, right? But yeah, so let me know what you guys want to see more on this channel. Let me know if you guys want to see more edible plants, more blooms, more tropical plants, etc. I really want to be here just to help you guys harness more of an interest in nature and the world around you. And yeah, there's a motorcycle going by. I guess that's what you get for living next to the street. But yeah, just stay blessed. Thank you for any support. Really appreciate y'all. Be kind with one another. And yeah, I hope this was nice and therapeutic for you guys. Yeah. Okay, have a good one. Until next time.